Greetings, Pokemon fans, and welcome back to Polywar's Wrath. My name is JD, and today I'm excited to kick off our new mini-series we're doing, where we're playing through Pokemon Blue with all the fighting types fully evolved to see who the best fighting type is in Generation 1. We just finished up with the fire types, so I recommend you go check that out. Speaking of fire types, I have this tier list I made, where it ranks all the Pokemon, and it's going to put them in a spot here. I'm going to have to expand the F tier, because there's probably some Pokemon going to end below that, and I might have to expand some of these even more, or maybe get more specific, but for now, this is our tier list. A lot of the fire types landed in the C and D tier because fire types aren't really good in Generation 1, except for one. That's Charizard. Charizard was head and shoulders the best fire type, and he has a sub 50-minute run in the A tier that ended up being about 48 minutes. Probably get this under 45 minutes, but we'll do that in the future. We're going to go ahead and play through today with Machamp. Machamp is known as a superpower Pokemon for good reason. It's really well built. It's got a lot of good things going for it. Let's dive into the stats of this Pokemon. Stats are as follows: 90 HP. 130 in attack, 80 in defense, 65 in special. There is no special defense or special attack in Gen 1, just one stat called special. And in speed is 55. Speed and special are worse stats. Special, not too worried about special, but speed will rear its ugly head in a couple battles, and you'll see why and how that occurs. And now let's go over the level up moveset, which we're only using really 2 moves, maybe 3 at the most. We have Karate Chop, which critical hits a lot, 50 base power, 100% accurate. Low Kick, which it's stab, so it's 75, not 50, and then its accuracy is 90. I wish the accuracy was 100% with this. It'd be a lot more useful. And then Leer is the last move we will use, but we won't use it that much. And then Focus Energy, Seismic Toss, and Submission we will not use in this playthrough. And there's good reasons for that, because its team moveset is a lot more broad, and it's pretty good, and it coincides better with its stats than, all the other moves. I'm not going to go over every move individually, like what it does, but I'll just go over the ones that briefly we'll use, and then we'll dive into the playthrough. Mega Punch, Body Slam, we won't use Submission Counter or Seismic Toss. Earthquake and Dig are definitely useful. Mimic, so we can mimic a move to do the badge boost. Fire Blast for literally one Pokemon. Fire Blast is useful for Rest and Rock Slide. Those are all the moves. And you'll see throughout the playthrough how useful some of those moves will be and where we're going to use them, so on and so forth. Without further ado, let's dive into the playthrough of this Pokemon. So Machamp will start out. Our rival is going to have a Charmander. We named our rival Derp Derp Derp. It's just one Derp, but I like saying Derp Derp Derp. And we named our Pokemon Buffy. So Buffy will hit 3 critical hit Karate Chops, knock out the opposition, get the very easy win, and we move right on to our second rival battle. Our second rival battle is mandatory on my playthroughs if you're ever curious about that. But we gotta go ahead and face our second rival battle. So we're 1 minute and 15 seconds in, we're facing our second rival, and we just gotta hit some Karate Chops and we'll win. Karate Chop, 1 hit there, 1 hit there. Even though we have our accuracy lowered, we get a 3-hit knockout, very good. Charmander comes up. Charmander, even though we had Growled, so we got Growled there, that lowers our attack stat. When you hit a critical hit, it ignores all stat buffs. So we get a very easy win over our second rival. We're already up to level 9. Already at level 9 facing that battle. So these other bug catchers are kind of obsolete, but it's just going to be very easy one hits. And some people would sit here and say, like, why don't you skip over these bug trainers? You know what? A couple extra levels early is really going to make the middle game a little bit faster, and that's the way I view it. I may do that in the future where I'll avoid as many battles as possible, but for now, this is usually just my routine. I face these guys. If our Pokemon's that good, these will be one-shots, and we're only spending about 20 to 25 seconds on this battle. So we're going to move on to the last bug catcher in the Bug Forest. It's a level 9 Weedle. We should also knock this out in one go. Very good. Get a critical hit. Knock it out and move right on to Brock's Gym. And the first member of Brock's Gym is actually the Million Light Years Trainer. The Million Light Years Trainer is going to come out with a Diglett. Diglett will outspeed, but we will crush it in one hit. And then Sandshrew comes out. And Low Kick looks like it's going to be a 3-shot. We get Sand Attack, but we still get the knockout. Sand Attack really didn't affect us there. We're at 3 minutes and 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 3 minutes and just 10 seconds when the battle's actually starting. Brock comes out. Low Kick will one-shot his Geodude. Very good. And then it won't one-shot the Onix, and we get bided, and this is very scary, because if we don't one-shot, he could get a 2-turn bide and knock us out. So look how much damage 1 did back to us. We could have lost this battle, but we get the win nonetheless. We beat Brock. We get the Boulder Badge. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to move right on to Mount Moon. Now we got a couple side quests to Mount Moon. We got a detour here to grab 2 things. Well, first we're going to fight this Rocket member, and he's going to go down to 1 Karate Chop, and our second Karate Chop, going to knock him out. Very good. So we're going to grab this Ether that's on this stone here, and we're going to go and grab Mega Punch. Mega Punch isn't super great, but it gives us more power points so we don't have to go back and heal as often. So now we're facing the Super Duper Nerd at the end of the tunnel, and he's protecting his fossils. We're going to one-shot both the Grimer, both the Voltorb. We don't one-shot the Coughing, however, we get a 2-shot. We win, and now we're going to grab the Dome Fossil. I know if I didn't told you, you would ask, However, go ahead and ask. Comments are great for the YouTube algorithm. Shout out to my guy, my dry bread. That's his stick, and I think it's funny. So now we're going to go ahead and face Misty. Misty is the water gym leader. We're at 8 minutes and 15 seconds. We are flying through this playthrough at this moment. We're going to go for Karate Chop, and Karate Chop will crit and one-shot the Staryu. Very good. Even with X-Defend, as long as we, like I said, as long as we hit a critical, it skips over any kind of defensive buffs that she would do. We get a very easy win, knocking out the Staryu in 3 hits. And we're going to move right on to our third rival battle. This rival battle can be tricky, and we always have to worry about the Pidgeotto lowering our accuracy. So that's the biggest concern that we have. Karate Chop, however, ends up being a 2-shot, so we don't get our accuracy lowered. And the rest of this is a foregone conclusion, unless we get a whole bunch of Gen 1 misses or something. But we're not going to. Low kick knocks out the Rattata. Karate Chop almost one-shots the Charmander. But we get the win. We beat our rival pretty handily. And I'm going to move right on to this battle. This gentleman right here, he's an innocent bystander, but he's not an innocent bystander. He's walking around with a shovel, and he actually, I just noticed that the Machamp has a disc on that. But that's our TM. We get the TM Dig from him by beating him, and we move right on to the SSN. So we're getting some pretty good move upgrades around just the early middle game, and we're going to go ahead and knock out this Nidoran in one shot, and we're going to grab Body Slam. So we're going to have Body Slam over Mega Punch and Dig over Rid, whatever move it was. I think it was Leer. And now we're going to face our fourth rival battle, and this rival battle just keeps getting easier. Karate Chop, one-shots on the Pidgeotto. We're going to have Low Kick on the Eradicate. It's weak to Low Kick, very good. We're going to Karate Chop on the Kadabra, and we're going to go for Karate Chop on the Charmeleon. We get a clean sweep of our rival and his team without really taking any damage, and move right on to Lieutenant Surge's gym. He is a pushover, and we don't need any of the extra battles in here. We're at 15 minutes and 25 seconds going into this battle, and Voltorb comes out. Karate Chop on the Voltorb is a one-shot. Karate Chop on the Pikachu is an OHKO as well. And do we get an OHKO on the Raichu? We do. One-shot knockout, very good. We beat Lieutenant Surge, and with that, we have 3 badges at this point. We're going to move right on to this tunnel where we're going to face Boomer the Hiker. And Boomer, we're going for 3 low kicks and knock him out. He's been a problem for some playthroughs, not a problem for this one. We beat him pretty handily, and we're going to move right on to Celadon City. And in Celadon City, we're going to go ahead and head into the Rocket Game Corner. We're going to face this dude. Really don't need to face anyone in here when it comes to like showcasing battles, but I want to showcase we got Rock Slide. Rock Slide's a new move, 75 base power. 90% accurate, very effective against a lot of things we have to face in this game. I'll go over that here in a second. But we click the button, that guy scurries off to tell his boss that we're coming, and here we are. Giovanni's here. I should have waited to teach Rock Slide until after this battle. Low kick would have been a one-hit, and it would have made this battle a lot faster. Not a big deal. I mean, there is a propensity for it to miss, so it happens. But it would have one-shot pretty much everyone here, because it is super effective. It's fighting type, and everyone here is weak to the fighting type move, low kick. We no longer have a fighting type move, but we get a pretty easy win over Giovanni. Now we're facing our 5th rival battle, and here's where I realized maybe going for having Charmander as a starter was bad, because there's 3 Pokemon here that are weak to Rock Slide, giving me a huge advantage here. So maybe making it a little more complicated, maybe just pick a neutral Pokemon, like maybe a Blastoise, or maybe Venusaur would still have 2 Pokemon like that. Might be the idea in the future, but we get a pretty easy win. I'm not going to change it now, and we're going to move right on to Erica's gym. And in Erica's gym, we did make sense to face her early, so that's why I'm facing her after Pokemon Tower rather than before. Karate Chop is a 2-shot on the Victory Bell. Tangela comes out, 2-shot on the Tangela. Does no damage to us, pretty much. And in Vileplume, the best case scenario is it goes for an attack, or it hits Poison Powder, which is fine. If she'd have gone for Sunspore or Post to Sleep, that could have been bad. Now, this battle should be a foregone conclusion. However, we did not stop and get Earthquake. We went and got Dig, and we get a really, really bad luck right there. Dig missed the Gen 1 255 out 256 miss. And right here we go for Dig on the Muck, which is super effective, but we don't get the one-shot. So now it disables our Dig. So now we have to use other moves other than Dig to win this battle, where the next 2 Pokemon would have been easy peasy. But we're going to go ahead and go for Karate Chop. Karate will be a 2-shot on the Coughing. We are poisoned, but we're not poisoned by Toxic. We're poisoned by, I think it was Smog or Sludge or something like that. So it's not like eating up our health that bad. So the fact that this battle takes a little bit longer doesn't really hurt us. It could have been bad, but it ended up not being bad. We Dig, and he self-destructs. Not the type of win I like to have. I like to have a little bit more of a dominant win. But nonetheless, we'll take the win and move right on to rival number 6. Rival number 6 is going to come out, and we're going to get our first loss here. Our first reset. Because Rock Slide will one-shot the Pidgeot. Execute. This is going to be a problem Pokemon later, but right now it's not. It goes for Reflect, and Generation 1, Reflect doesn't cover the whole team. It just covers the one Pokemon. Gyarados goes down, and we get confused here, and that's what causes us to lose this battle. We would have one-shot with Earthquake if we'd have hit, and we definitely would have one-shot if we hit Rock Slide on the Charizard. So we would have won that battle. We don't outspeed the Alakazam. He's at 94, so actually we don't outspeed the Charizard either. So we might not have won that battle now that I think of it. However, we get a retry at this and execute. We're not getting any critical hits. Critical hit would skip over the Reflect buff. And one shot on the Gyarados. Now we're back to the Alakazam. Just don't get confused and we'll be fine. Karate Chop one shot's very good. And now Charizard comes out and he goes for Rage, which is the worst move he could probably do at that moment. But we get the win. We get the knockout over our rival. Move right on to our second Giovanni fight. And this Giovanni fight, for the most part, is pretty much a foregone conclusion. We have Earthquake. It's super effective against all of his Pokemon. Earthquake on the Nidorino. Very good. We don't have a super effective move on Kangaskhan. Let me rephrase that. But we get a two-shot nonetheless. One shot on the Rhyhorn. And I'm pretty sure Nidoqueen is also one shot. Very good. We knock out the Nidoqueen. And we're going to leave Giovanni's gym and go right into Sabrina's gym. Or, I'm sorry, leave Giovanni's hideout and go right into Sabrina's gym. And Sabrina and her whip is going to come out with Earthquake on the Kadabra. We outspeed the Kadabra. We outspeed the Mr. Mime. And we're going to not learn Seismic Toss. And we're going to go ahead and do Earthquake on the Mr. Mime. Very good. Venomoth, I don't understand how we were able to attack this with Earthquake. It looks like it's flying, but I'm not going to argue. And we get a one-shot on the Alakazam. Take a big amount of damage from Sabrina. Move right on to Blaine. Now, Blaine's going to be easy as well. It is weak to us. We have Earthquake. One Pokemon may survive this because I think we get our attack stat lowered. And we growl, yep, right there. Knockout still. And if we knock out the Arcanine, we do not. However, it does nothing to us. We get a very easy win over Blaine and move right on to the final Giovanni fight. We have added Mimic over Body Slam. Body Slam really is the first time I've ever played through Body Slam, and Body Slam was really not that useful for a Pokemon that could get Body Slam. We're going to go for Earthquake on the Rhyhorn. We do not get the knockout. We knock it out after a second hit. And we get hit by Dig here. But we're going to go for Earthquake, knock it out. And from this point on, we should be pretty good because nothing's going to outspeed us. Dugtrio is a very fast Pokemon. Nothing will outspeed us here. Rhyhorn will be a two-shot with Earthquake. Stomp does a decent amount of damage, but we hang on, we survive, and we move right on to our final rival battle before the Elite Four. He's going to come out. We did do a rare candy before this, so we didn't level up in the middle of battle. And this battle can, like, pretty much goes off the rails, but it's a very weird battle. So first we go for Agility, and Agility again. He's going to go for Wing Attack. That's okay. We got high defense. And so we're maxed out on speed. We got boosted physical attack. We got boosted special, boosted defense. So we should be fine in this battle. One shot on the Earthquake, or Earthquake on the Rhyhorn, and then two shots on the Execute, and this stupid thing paralyzes us. Great. Awesome. So all we gotta do is hit Rock Slide, and the Gyarados will go down. Now Alakazam is gonna go first now. The whole point of badge boosting was so we can outspeed the Alakazam. It hits a lot of damage on us, but we get the knockout, and now Charizard gets us down to 5 health. We one-shot with Rock Slide, a very close battle, and we're on to the Elite Four. Now that we're in the Elite Four, let's go and go over our stats and our moves before we go in and face Lorelei, the first member of the Elite Four. Its stats are as follows. Attack is 203, defense is 143, speed is 114, and special is 126. We also have our stat modified in the bottom left corner with the badges. They're already showing. If you ever want to see the stats, as usual, look in the bottom left corner. You can also see our moves, but it's going to be nicer to see it in big bold print in the middle. We have Karate Chop, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Mimic. We have 2 moves we will add on to this playthrough. We will add Rest, and we will use Fire Blast for some members of the Elite Four. But without further ado, let's go and dive into this. We're at level 59, going in, and Lorelei is our first member, and she's going to lead out with a Dugong Gong Gong. Dugong Gong Gong is going to come out. We're not even going to get a chance to see what Dugong does. We're going to Rock Slide it, knock it out in the first try. Next up is Cloyster, and it doesn't get a one-shot, however, we get a 2-shot, very easy knockout. Slowbro's going to come out, and all it's going to go for is Amnesia, because it sees us as a fighting type. It sees its most effective move is a Psychic type move, which is Amnesia, so it'll only go for Amnesia, and we're going to go for a 2-shot and knock it out. Very good. And now we should be able to one-shot the last 2 members of her team, which is Jinx and Lapras. One-shots across the board, very good, very easy win. Moving right on to Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much, but hopefully this is a foregone conclusion, a very easy win. We did not play this out correctly. There's a better way we could have played this out, is get Harden, and we should have just knocked out Onyx and then badge boosted, because we're about to level up. And we're going to lose all the badge boosting we're about to do. Only thing we're not going to lose is the initial badge boosting with the defense, but all the other stuff will go away. We get one more Harden in just to boost our stats just a little bit more. And now we're going to Earthquake to Hitmonchan. Do not get a knockout. That's very surprising, but nonetheless, we get the knockout on the next turn. Knockout on the Hitmonlee. Onix comes back out, revert back to Earthquake. It's a one-shot. And now Machamp comes out. We don't really have to worry about Machamp in this because Submission's not very powerful. It doesn't have a great move. If it had Cross Chop, I'd be a little more concerned because it can crit and it's a very powerful move. But we don't have to worry about it. And we're moving right along to Agatha. Agatha, you have the Agatha lottery, and the lottery hits us here. We don't hit the lottery hits us. So Agatha has the opportunity to poison you, paralyze you, confuse you, put you to sleep. And on the first turn, she outspeeds with the Gengar and puts us to sleep. We do one-shot it, but it's kind of too little too late. We're not going to one-shot or not going to outspeed a lot of the Pokemon. The last Gengar would outspeed us anyway. So Nightshade is what we want. It doesn't do that much damage. We get the one-shot. And now from here, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. Just got to make sure we don't get those Gen 1 misses. Go ahead and get that Earthquake knockout on the Haunter. Earthquake knockout on the Arbok. Gengar will be a one-shot. We get confused, so it does kind of forego this battle a little bit. But as long as we hit one Earthquake, we're good. We knock out Gengar. We move right on to Lance. Lance is the Dragon Master of the Elite Four, and he's going to lead out with a Gyarados. Now, in this playthrough, like I said, with this trainer, we don't have a lot of problems here. We're going to go for Rock Slide. It's not a one-shot, unfortunately, so he's going to heal. He's going to go for Rock Slide again. We don't get the one-shot. He does Leer us, which does boost our stats. I don't know if that helped in the last one. And now, Dragonair will only go for Agility. It has good AI, so it sees Agility as a Psychic move. It sees it as weak to Psychic. It will only just spam Agility. So we get full setup, and now we are able to sweep his team. Earthquake on both the Dragonairs is a one-shot. Aerodactyl can't get hit by Earthquake, so we're going to go for Rock Slide. And in Dragonite, the last Pokemon, it's weak because it's Flying type. We get the knockout. We get a pretty easy win over Lance, and we move right on to the Champion. So Champion Derp is going to come out, and we have one Pokemon here that gives us all the problems. Pidgeot comes out, Rock Slide. Not a one-shot, unfortunately. However, we're going to go ahead and do another Rock Slide, knock it out. It's set up for Wing Attack, which would have been very detrimental if it hit us, but we don't have to endure that. We knock it out, and Alakazam, we knock out one go. Does massive damage to us, though, with Psychic. And we're going to go ahead and rest. And the strategy here with Rhydon is you want Rhydon to go for Leer or Tail Whip. Now, Leer and Tail Whip are 100% accurate, and somehow this idiot keeps missing it. But he keeps going for Fury Attack rather than capitulating and doing what we want, so it does eat up some time. We are right at the 45-minute mark if this thing would just done what we wanted to do from the get-go. However, we don't get that, and we get 2 badge boosts at this point. We're still waiting. We're still waiting. We keep using rest because we're just going to heal up, and we need one more badge boost. I think will be good. So one more badge boost. That's +4. All of our stats are heavily boosted. Earthquake will one-shot the Rhydon. Now we have our problem Pokemon, which is Executor. We miss. It misses. Fire Blast. It's not a one-shot. If it was a one-shot, we'd be moving on. We probably won this battle right here, right at the 45-minute mark. But we don't. We get knocked out by Barrage. Of all the freaking moves that get knocked out by that Pokemon, it's Barrage. Granted, our defense was very low at that point, so that's why. And we take another Psychic here. Earthquake knocks it out, but Psychic does a decent amount of damage. And now we're gonna go for this again. Now the first attempt, Leer, good. Tail Whip, good. And I'm like, do it one more time. We don't have to actually fall asleep right now because we're fully healed. So one more. We just want one more Tail Whip. There we go. We're full out, full health, and now we're gonna go ahead and do Earthquake on the Rhydon. Very good. Executor Fire Blast does not knock it out and misses Hypnosis. We just hit an Earthquake to knock it out. So now we're fully boosted for the last 2 Pokemon. As long as we don't get a Gen 1 miss or some kind of stupid, critical hit or something, we should have this battle won, done and dusted. There's the Charizard. We get the win, 46 minutes and 26 seconds. So now we're just waiting to get our Hall of Fame time. And we're locked in with the Hall of Fame here, but there's in-game time, which I don't usually go by that, but some people like to do it. If you ever see this and the time looks weird to you, there is times I pause the game and go use the restroom, but it doesn't pause the in-game timer. So that's why I don't go off of that, but some people like to see it. So now let's go look at our tier list. Our tier list, with adding this Pokemon and with that playthrough, we could probably get this under 45 minutes. I'm very confident in that. There's some optional battles we can skip over and save us some time. But with that being said, Machamp goes into number 1 in the A tier as of right now. 46 minutes and 26 seconds. Outpaced Charizard's 48 minutes and however many seconds it was. So that's where we're at. And we're going to have this tier list up for every video. And I'm going to update this in real time as we're doing it. I'm very excited to see it. And the next Pokemon will be Poliwrath. That's going to be next week. and I'm very excited about playing through Poliwrath. If you don't know, the Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath line is my favorite line in Generation 1. Poliwhirl is my favorite Pokemon in Generation 1. That's why I wanted to compete in the water types. I think it's going to be the best water type we're gonna have. But let me just think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I didn't mention that yet in this video. And the other thing is we have a video coming out on Friday. On Friday, we have a playthrough of Pokemon Crystal using a fully optimized Noctowl. Is it the greatest Pokemon ever? No, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to definitely improve on the time that we had when we played through like a year ago. All right? So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And yes, I did put myself in the D and F tier, okay? Because, you know, I'm not very good at playing through Pokemon, so I belong there. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Have a good one, and see ya.